City branch. I had my children removed from me in 2014. I now, through protesting, and everybody's help, I now am getting my children back. So I've got my 4 kids here with me. So I'd just like to thank you, for coming to our rallies and standing up with us. It wouldn't be possible if you all didn't come. So thank you.
So for those that don't know me, my name's Laura. I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother. I'm a proud Wiradjuri woman, and to be born black in this country is a crime. Why do I say that? Because we get treated like criminals just because of our culture, because of who we are. I lost my 4 grandchildren and my 3 children. When they took my 3 children, this fire ignited in my belly. I knew that I had to, stand up and do something. I could not get through this by just sitting down. So my children were removed on the 4th of December 2015. The 5th of December, I was introduced to Sue Ellen Ty, Honey Deb Swan and Jennifer Swan. And I got to hear their stories. I got to hear how they were scrutinised you know, how they were being punished because as grandparents, you know, following our protocol, our law, where they wanted to step up to the plate and take responsibility and care, love and nurture their grandchildren. You know, so I decided that, you know, at that point that we also needed to start GMAR up here. From that time on, I was committed, I was dedicated, I hit the ground running and I worked my guts off. You know, this is something that I had to do to keep myself sane, and I knew that this wasn't just about my grandchildren, my children, this is about all Aboriginal children. Believe me, I have fought this system for over a year. They tried to break my spirit. You know, they tried to break my children's spirit and my grandchildren's spirit. I have got my children back, yes, but let me tell you, my children are so damaged. This is the first opportunity that I've actually been able to come to a protest because I am just full on trying to fucking repair the damage. Yeah. You know, there are over 18,000 Aboriginal children in care. I don't care what anyone says. This is a fucking form of genocide. They are trying to wipe us out. And I keep telling everybody out there, get off your fucking lounges. Get out of them bubbles. Get out of your assimilated lives. Because they are trying to wipe us out. We're not going to have a future. And it's only because we have non-Aboriginal people here supporting us. That's what builds the numbers up. We are the, you know, 3% of the minority in this country. This government is so corrupt. They take our children, they put them in care. Then they charge them with crimes, they harass them when they're walking on the streets. They lock them up. Look at poor Dylan and everybody and all them other kids up there. And all the murders in jail. You know, we need to all unify and we need to let everybody in this country know that we have had enough. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out there.
Hey, thank you, sisters. As you heard, a little bit of statistics there. We make less than 3% of the population. Now let's just add some numbers up here for all the people with a bit of common maths, you know? Less than 3%. Very good. Less than 3%. And then we put 18,000 of that less than 3% in residential out-of-home care. Shame! Since the Royal Commission into the deaths in custody, back then there were 339 recommendations made. Today, 26 years later, there are more than 339 murders in custody. Shame! Yes! Our youth suicide rate per percentage is the highest in the world. Not in just this country, the highest in the world. Our youth are believing they have no hope. They have no livelihood. And it's not from the bringing up of our ways, it's from this system and this government that are stripping them from their families and from their culture and from their languages. Do you understand? Our culture, language and our law to this land is what makes us. It is our identity down to our bone. The name I'm given right now, Elizabeth, for goodness sake. Who's Elizabeth in this country? The fucking Queen. So it tells you how much my identity was stripped when I was born. And then today, on and on and on, we see how many little babies, innocent babies, mothers are giving birth in hospital, and they're coming to the hospital bed and removing their babies. How do you neglect a baby you haven't even cared for more than an hour? How do you call that neglect? Shame, shame and more shame. So what are we going to do about it? Fight! Yes, we're going to fight. Because what do we want? Justice! And when do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! How are we going to get it? Fight for it! How are we going to get it? Fight for it! thank you very much, beautiful people, for helping inspire more fire in all of our bellies. Because as Laura, as all of us have said, without the majority, us First Nations make the minority. So without all you out here that are the privileged majority, no disrespect, it's just common English, without the privileged majority on our side, this is a fight we won't win. In 20 years' time, there'll be no need for a report because there'll be none of us more alive. The youth suicide rate tells us. That's something to really think about. Our children think they have no way of life but out. And that's disgusting. 2017, to think a child has the only way of life is to take his own or her own. So I'd like once again, to thank all these beautiful people out here tonight. And I think now we're going to march. We're ready to march down to Central Station. And just one little more thing about Central Station, Platform 1, sorry. The significance that Uncle spoke a little bit about earlier. When they took these uncles and aunties and all the beautiful people from their parents back in country town, that was horrific. Being taken from your mother and father was horrific. But you were taken with siblings. So maybe you had a little bit of hope. Then they brought you to Central Station and they'd rip you from your siblings. They put girls on one side of the station, boys on the other side, and they never took more than 2 or 3 together. So if you were a family of 6 stolen from your mother, by the time you got through the system, you only had lucky to have 1 brother, 1 sister, and never ever to see them again. They didn't just steal our babies from their mothers and fathers. They then stole them from their big sisters and brothers. So the trauma of these old men and old women, it runs deep. Because in our culture, we look after our little ones, even at a young age. So imagine being a 6-year-old brother and you're travelling along with your 4-year-old sister, 2-year-old brother, okay, Sarah. And you get down to the Central Station Platform 1 and you cannot save your little brother and sister. You have to walk away, kicking, screaming and biting and fighting, I could imagine. But you were taken away. And them little people, the last thing they see is that's all they see. A lot of these old men and old women, when they were returned home when they were 18, didn't even know their family. There's a lot of them, stolen generation survivors, that walk amongst us today that still do not know where they come from. They still walk around as lost souls. Survivors maybe, but no culture, no name, no grandmother. And that's a lot to take in. Trust me, I'm a direct descendant of one of these men, and it hurts me every day to see the pain. My grandmother lost 13 of her children. 3 times that car came back and told my fathers and mothers they were going on a holiday. And my grandmother had to stand back with tears in her eyes and watch her babies again and again and again be taken. And back then they had this little law called dog tags. If anyone's not familiar about that, I'll give you a little bit of history. If you signed off to the government and said that you'd be an assimilated black man, woman, you wouldn't practice language, you wouldn't practice culture, you'd live on a mission under law, you'd accept their rations, then they gave you this false promise they wouldn't steal your children. So my grandmother and my grandfather, they got married in a white man's law. They signed off on these dog tags back when they only had a couple of children back in those days. My grandfather went away for work because that was part of the dog tag rules. You had to be a working white man of the world. He'd come home from work, his babies were gone. He goes down and asks, "Hello, excuse me, here's my papers, where's my kids?" Oh, sorry, sir. They sent 2 back. My grandfather goes for work again maybe 5 years later. My grandmother's had another 4 children by then, and the 2 that were returned. The government come back once he's gone off that mission and working, and they stole them again. 2 of my uncles were stolen twice, not once. And then again, my grandfather comes back from work and goes down and asks this big politician man, "Where are my children? Here's my papers. You told me they would not be stolen." Oh, sorry. Sorry. Isn't that the word why we're all standing here today? Sorry. And what does sorry meant to mean?
Means you can't do it again!
I can't hear you, Mob. What does sorry mean? Yeah, exactly. Sorry means you don't do it again. And I'm only one person with one story. And there's my beautiful uncle standing there who was in the homes with two of my fathers I'm talking about. And I tell you now, if you've ever look up the Kinchela boys' homes, if you haven't studied them, please. Cootamundra girls, Bomaderry, anywhere. Have a conversation. Spread the word. Because this is how we're going to fight and this is how we're going to win. By people talking and spreading this message. This most important, vital message of stopping our cultural genocide and stop stealing our babies.
What do we got? Kind of walk on the hedges, I think, is the rule. Where are you working, by the way?
I'm with something else on the same government.
Always Shut down the prisoners! Set the children free! 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 Shut down the prisons! Set the children free! Always will be Aboriginal land. Always will be Aboriginal land. Always was. Always will be Aboriginal land. Welcome. Always was. Always will be Aboriginal land.
Two. Hello.
Hello everybody, would you like to just please keep moving down and then turn your attention towards me and the microphone, as this is where the speakers will be. Thank you very much. Firstly, everybody, we have members from the New South Wales Training Department who would like to welcome us too. So please welcome Lisa.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lisa Case. I'm the Regional Service Delivery We would like to recognise the survivors of Hunter Gilsleys and Conchilla Boyd's home. I'd like to welcome Uncle Lester and Aunt Isabel. Thank you.
Hello again, folks. Here we are. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the walk down here with you. I don't get much exercise anymore. You can tell by my big chest. All right. I'm sneaking out of this one, bowing out this one. I'm going to let my auntie Isabel have a yarnie. She's a beautiful lady. And she's been through it, and when I reach her age, I hope I'm as strong as what she is. And then my brother from the home, Lester Marr, behind me, is going to have a talk with you too.
Thank you very much. Yes, it has been a long journey. It's taken 20 years, but we're here at last. At least we're all together. That's the main thing. I think it's about keeping our children together and all our families together. And it's about that. And you can see that here today. So thank you very much for the good walk. And I'm sure we'll hear for a few more years. Thank you. I'd like to, before I leave, I've been asked to talk about the little story. It's a true story. It's about myself and my sister and my brother. And we were saying goodbye to our mum and dad this day. We went to school and didn't know that we'd never see our parents again. When the bell rang, we walked home from school and a truck pulled up and they asked us to get in, which we did. We didn't get home to our parents that day. They took us to the police station and we were in the police cells. And then we were taken on the train to Cootamundra. And my brother went to Kinchler. And there I hadn't seen him from that day to this. But I hope he's well out there. I always put an ad in the paper to make sure that he knows that I'm here. But it is very sad because I would have loved to have known where he was, even if his family's out there. And but that's the way it goes. We were taken away and it's a terrible time. At that time it was a black history and also a past history from the government, and they had a lot to pay for. And now I think we are getting it back. We still have a long way to go, but we're still hanging in there and hope that our children of today don't go through the misery and the hurt and all those terrible things that we went through. Thank you all very much for listening.
Today is a very significant day for all of us. My name's Uncle Lester Ma, Biripi man, Tari. This platform here brings back a lot of bad memories for all of us that were taken. I was taken from this station here along with my elder brother and my sister. And I think I was about 3 years old at the time. But my eldest brother was 9 and he knew what was going on at the time. And they literally drug us out of our mother's arms on this very station. About 60 years ago. And to stand here to say there's sad memories, but it's a day that of reckoning for all of us that were taken. As I said before many times, and I'll say it again tonight, is that we are not members of the stolen generation. We are the living survivors that went through the Holocaust of being against the boys' home. It's good to be able to see so many people here that are supporting us. We're on a journey. It's been a long time coming that we've been fighting for this day, and we're finally here. It's the same very place. So it's good and it's bad memories, but it's good to know that we have support and we're gaining momentum. And we've been fighting the New South Wales government for the last 8 years or so, and we went to Canberra the other day and had a meeting with Malcolm Turnbull, and we're lobbying the federal government now that because it started from the federal government at the time, that it was called the Aboriginal Protection Board back in those days, and they need to be accountable for what they did to us, because it was not just New South Wales, it was right across the nation of Australia that children were taken. It was their policies in those days. So today is an historical day for all of us. I never thought that I'd come back to this platform such a day as today. So it's really mixed feelings for me anyways. I often think of all those mothers that were right along this platform at the time that we were taken and literally snatched out our mother's arms. We never knew what it was like to have a mother's love. We never knew what it was like to have a family and a father's love. All that was taken away from us. And even when we went through those gates at Kingston Boys' Home, it was a time like going through the gates of hell. And we suffered a lot of hard times, abuse, sexual abuse from the manager down. I ran away from the place once and I was brought back severely bashed by the manager. It was called the so-called Aboriginal Protection Board. but when we're brutalised in that place, a lot of terrible things happen to us. But today is the day that we need to move on, and it's very hard for us because we developed a deep hatred for white people. Not you, Bob, but we developed a deep hatred for white people. You know, I'm not prejudiced, I just don't like white people. So I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, really thank each and every one who's screening today, because it's really helped us on our journey. So thank you very much. That was number 11, number 36 here. Number 45, Avery, 28 and 51. They're beautiful brothers that we went through that place together. We got a lot of sad stories, or not stories, truth telling is what it is, to tell you about that place. But it's just something I want to voice out here, that this platform is starting to make me shake a little bit. But it'll be all right. I know it's going to be all right, because you people that are standing there are supporting us in the way that we want. We need to stop this human trafficking that is called faces or called docs, and that's there is no other way of putting it or saying it. And we need to make them realise that we want them to stop using us as a commodity. We're not on Wall Street over there as buy into the industry of removal of children and of Indigenous people of the land they have called Australia. But we are a big employment business to them, and we want to give that right back to our families, back to our mothers, back to our aunties, back to our grandparents. They all have somebody left. From the ones that have passed away, they have somebody left. And we have and deserve the right to have that and take control of our pain. I want you to take that with you and help development for the next generation, the generation after.
Thank you so much, uncles, Arnie. Just take a second to compose myself. Knowing how much pain and trauma this platform standing for back then. But knowing today it stands for hope, and it stands for future with all of us here. As some people know, I'm known as a bit of a poet, so obviously I had to write a poem. This first one I wrote personally for my father, and all my fathers and mothers, as I said earlier. My grandmother lost 13 of her babies to this system, and it's called Stolen. Stolen. My father and his 12 siblings, they did steal. No remorse, no empathy. They do not feel. How can this be right? This is so surreal. They drove them away like cattle,
in their automobiles, stolen from their family and everything they've known. In a minute, please. Stolen from their country and their connection to their home. Put in concentration camps like prisoners of a war zone. Will they ever see their family again? Sadly, for some that's still unknown. Stolen from their right to live with no white man's explanation. Upon them they would force fractured religions and assimilation. A legal binding document allowed it in every nation. Stolen for the great cause of assimilation. Stolen from language, culture, family and all sacred law. Captain Cook couldn't win, so this was to even the score. They were beaten and brainwashed that they were loved no more, and now a part of their spirit and identity is lost forevermore. Thank you. Next one is just generally, and this is dedicated to every single survivor, uncle, auntie, and every single grandmother, auntie, cousin, friend or family that knows a child that's not home tonight. Let me ask you how you would feel if your children, the government, did steal. Then ask you to understand as they force you off your sovereign birth homelands. They place your babies in trucks like part of a herd, shipped for miles and miles. Do you not think that's absurd? They say it's the best. They say it's what's right, for their intent to breed us all out to be white. But there is something they can never understand. No matter how much white blood, our spirits belong to the land. Denied our languages, names, initiations and tribal law. Now left a lifestyle choice to dwell in poverty and poor. Then they introduced their diseases, poisons and alcohol. Our bravest warriors now lost under its control. We're labelled wild to the point of we're savage, yet this government are the ones who are continuing to ravage. How much more do they need? How much more will we bleed? To suffice the satisfaction of their corporate greed. 200 plus years, it's been way too long. So now let me ask you all, who is it that's wrong? Thank you. I now invite Tiffany to the microphone because, I've had my say. Thank you very much. Oh no, sorry, Uncle Lester. Oh, apologies.
When you come in, you may have seen the kids and boys home here. First of all, one of the things that we forgot to do, and I know you've been to some of the ceremonies that have happened all this week, but in a mark of respect, can we all just have a minute's silence, of all the stolen generations that have gone before us, all our brothers and sisters, because for us, they were our families. As I said earlier, we never had a family, we never knew a family structure. So in a mark of respect of all of our brothers and sisters that have gone before us, can we just have ignore that man at the back there? We can just have a minute silent, we would appreciate that. Okay?
We need to say that.
Fucking move.
Thank you very much. I want to also take this opportunity to thank both Tiffany and Kerry and all the sponsors and everyone that has made this week possible to being so supportive to us. And as I said, there's the banner here. If you'd like to sign that, would be great. And also there's the Kuna bills at the back there. If you can all sign that, that'd be great too as well. Thank you.
You gotta ask, have you got a texter?
I might just acknowledge that there are a lot of aunts and uncles who are here tonight, and that if there is anyone who wants to share any reflection, to please come up and do so. This is your day. And to also acknowledge that there are so many descendants here, and I hear people's comments about not knowing that they had a grandparent or great-grandparent who went through these horrible institutions. And this is about you and recognizing your families, and the future of your families will be different. We're all committed to making that difference. So thank you for being here. And the aunts and uncles, any reflections you want to share, please come up.
What a crowd. My name's Nolene Holton. I come from Kempsey. It happened on my river. My father, 10 of his siblings were taken off Bedford Mission. I come from Bedford Mission. And I have a auntie here. She's from Bedford.
And a cousin.
I've got so many on my cousins, so many people. I marched in the days when we marched for land rights. But I didn't think I'd do this march, and I did. Because I live in Bankstown now. I moved from the block back in the days. I live in a very multicultural city. I came because I will always fight for my people and my children. I was taught as a young woman, and I'm still doing it. I've got the energy, so I've done it tonight. I carry my father's, my grandmother, their story everywhere I go, and when I know it comes to KPH and Cootamundra. All the old girls been in Cootamundra with my aunties, my dad's sisters. You might know Auntie Nada, all the sisters. My dad's brothers. We found one brother, one of Dad's brother. He wasn't sent to KBH. They had him on a highland in an institution. And that island is called Peak Island. I was a young woman when my auntie took me there to see him. We had to stay indoor in the car, the window shut. And they brought him out. When I looked at him, he looked like my dad. So I broke down. But I will carry it on until I've got no more strength. And this government of ours is worse than what it was back then, because it's never going to stop. They will take our children, and children and children. We are a dying race, but why we teach them what we've been through, what our parents been through, they will carry it on. It'll make them a stronger person. I feel good because I've seen and I listened to the speakers today, and I felt it. I feel the pain. I feel the heartache. I watched my grandmother. She never seen most of her children. She passed away. She was a non-drinker. She pined for them. My father had a year with her, and then he was gone later. So keep up the fight till you haven't got any more strength. And see all you old people, like myself, I know we're going to fight. We're going to fight till we can't do it anymore. And I believe that we're in a new century now. So when you look at it, just keep telling the stories. I teach it well. I teach in Bankstown. I tell my story all the time. And they listen. I teach different people, and they listen. And then when they hear it, they really can't believe that our country has a history, and it's a black history. Yeah.
Anybody else would like, any other elder or descendant family would like to say a word while there's open mic session? Please make your way to the microphone. Must be sick of hearing my voice. Thank you so much, Uncle. Thank you so much. Well, all I can say, yes, Uncle, of course. I seen you at the back there. Please welcome Uncle here. His mother is the oldest living Stolen Generation woman. So please, he has many words to share with us.
Yeah, thank you. Well, first of all, I just want to acknowledge the Gadigal people from the Eora Nation. I want to pay my respects to the elders past and present. And I just want to thank the traditional owners for giving us the opportunity to march on this very significant day today. It's the first time I think we had a march on Sorry Day. And my name's William Trapman. In my hometown is Brewarrina. I'm a proud Murray man. We talk about a lot of the history about the Stolen Generation. My mother's one of the oldest Stolen Generation girls living today in New South Wales. She's 88 years of age. Her and her sister were taken to Cootamundra. Her sister died when she was 45 years of age. My grandmother died when she was 45 years of age. And as a kid growing up, I seen all the smoke stains on her fingers as she used to smoke. Must have been worrying about her kids and the heartache that she went through. And their younger brother, my uncle, he was taken to Kitchener Boys Home when he was a young fella. And I always, when I was growing up, I sort of always wondered why my uncle used to be sitting in the pub on his own drinking. And then later on in life, I turned around and it was through Tiffany that I'm very grateful for in 2014 when they had the 90-year commemoration in Kempsey. She gave me an invitation to go over there and to catch up with all the Kitchener boys and hear a lot of their stories. And today I know why they call my uncle the Maori, because all the kids in the homes, the Aboriginality was taken away from them. And a lot of their rights, they were given a number. And I couldn't imagine, and I still can't imagine today, how people were treated like this, these young kids. And a lot of the stories, and my heart bleeds for a lot of my brothers here today that are telling their stories because they were in the homes out of Kempsey. And I cannot believe that grown-ups are still in tears, their hearts broken, and crying, telling their stories. The world should know about what happened to them. It's the same with my mother in Brewarrina. She's got dementia. She's 88 years of age, but I get back there every opportunity I get to go and see her. And my dad, he died in New Year's Day 2013. He grew up in an Aboriginal mission back home in Brewarrina. And he had two younger sisters, and he had an older sister when he was 8 years of age, and his older sister was 14. She was taken off the Aboriginal mission because the government, the white man system, they didn't want her to marry a black man to breed black babies. Well, when my father died on New Year's Day 2013, he never seen his sister again for 75 years. And the same thing with my mother. They were married 63 years before his death. But I'm very proud to say what great parents we had and, you know, what happened to them. And the other thing, what they put on us as kids, I can't believe it. My father always said to us, as kids, there was 10 of us, and even for the grandkids today, he said, when you grow up, you'll have respect for yourself, you'll respect other people, you'll respect their property, and you'll never ever judge a book by its cover. And my mother always said that you'll stand up for what you believe is right. But there's one thing, I've worked 10 years through racism, but I'm proud of everyone here today that come here tonight and supported this cause. You know, to see so many banners and so many people from all different walks of life. You know, this is what this is about, is walking together. But really, before I go, I went to because I see my vision here tonight, and I've seen that every time there's a rally with us Aboriginal people, I have so many people from all different walks of life are so supportive of us. And what I want to tell you tonight is the vision that I had since I've been off work in 2007 with racism. And I had this vision, and I took the vision on the streets, and I'm going to go back on the streets and do my protest, and I'll keep fighting for justice until we get justice in this country. And if I've got to die in the streets, I'll die in the streets. But the vision will be a vision that just be proud of and just go home and sleep well tonight, because it goes like this. It goes, Martin Luther King had a dream, I had a vision. Growing up on an Aboriginal mission 1 mile out of my hometown in Brewarrina, my heroes and idols were my mum and dad, who still respected me as a child. But the heroes and idols were the Aboriginal families, the elders that I grew up around. But the heroes and idols were the Yvonne Goolagons, the Lionel Roses, the freedom riders who fought for the justice of the Aboriginal people. But my other hero and idol was Martin Luther King. Where he had a dream, I had a vision on the 7th of November 2010, going back to my hometown of Brewarrina on the XPT train between Bathurst and Orange. The vision came to me as plain as day. It was embedded in my head. I had enough time to get a pen out of my bag and write the vision on the back of my train ticket, and the vision was, to my people, the Aboriginal people of this country, to the Australian people, to the immigrants who crossed our four shores and called Australia home, I want us all to take a stance in this town and fight racism, discrimination in the community, in the workplace, on sporting fields or wherever, and let us all embrace one another and walk together side by side, shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, holding hands and go together as one. Thank you.
See another story. And the biggest part about tonight is that every single one of us here, we go out and we share this story. We tell our neighbours, tell our kids, tell our school community, tell our work colleagues. Because without people out there knowing this story, we will be here in 20 years' time doing it all again. And as much as I love my people, and I love all you people, enough is enough of stealing our babies. Enough is enough of stealing our culture. Enough is enough of living under genocide. So please, today, after you get out of here, tell anybody who will listen. People who won't listen, doesn't matter, have a yarn anyway. But also tonight, I'd also like to thank the police for facilitating our safety. I'm a bit of a comedian too. And I'd also like to thank the New South Wales train people for allowing us to do this on this very special place to us. Thank you very much. I must mention that tonight wouldn't be possible without the partnership that I'm proud to be part of of GMAR Sydney, Grandmothers Against Removal Sydney, and the Kinchler Boys Homes Uncles. We came together at a forum a couple of months ago. We first heard their stories. Oh, to those who didn't know, first heard their stories. And from then we've built and we've built and we've built. And tonight, wow, look what we've done. The numbers aren't massive, but hey, as long as there's a couple of humans in the world, we'll get through. Amen. And when uncles and aunties talk about passing away and they're worried that, you know, the story will be lost with them, please don't be. Because I tell you now, it's the ancestors' way. So when you go and your time passes, our time begins again. And our baby's time will take over and take over and take over, and we will beat this. Yeah! One more. Sorry. Please, if you don't mind, the candles aren't exactly cheap. If you wouldn't mind, there's a flag out the front. As you walk past, could you please put your candles back on the flag? Of course, no. Uncles and aunties going to the pockets, that does not mean you. You keep yours. And sign the banner at the front too, please. Thank you very much. Children won't be forgotten. Keep our families together.